Yo, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you just yet.
Let me see. There we go. Can you see me now?
There you
Hello?
go. I can hear you, see you loud and clear. Let's rock and roll, baby.
Do you have a recording? Sweet, sweet.
Yes, I have a recording in my top left hand corner. We're good. I got my notes. Life is wonderful. And I did a Zoom meeting right for a change.
Nice.
So, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to my South Jersey journey. My guest today is someone I've wanted to have on for quite some time. We had a meeting last week. He finally said yes. I'm fortunate enough to have him as a friend, a mentor. We always see each other when he's in Atlantic City. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction, Mr. Dave Damiani.
How you doing, Jacob? Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too.
Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm honored to be on. Thank you, my friend.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being my guest today. So, so as some of you may know Dave, others may not. I met you. What was it? I guess it must have been 3, 4 years now.
Yeah, it was probably 2017 or 2016, probably 2017
Yeah,
at the
yeah. So
Johnson Hall.
2000, 2017, we're working on year number four of working, year number four of working together. We've done a lot together in 4 years.
Yes, yes, we have. Yes, we have. Um, so how's the podcast going? How's the new stream going?
It's going well. A few bumps in the road, but hey, that's normal. But I'm trying my hand at it, and things are going well. I'm getting guests. I've talked to some of our friends. Maya Sykes, she'll be on in
Awesome.
December. I sent I've sent emails to Burke to get Landau on. I talked to Haley Reinhardt's people just this morning. So I mean, I'm I'm getting guests on.
That's great. That's fantastic.
So as you may have seen in my email, I you asked for a list of subjects we could talk about, and I tried my best to make them in chronological order. Uh, so tell us about your childhood.
Childhood, I was raised in South Jersey. I was born in Camden, New Jersey, at the Cooper Hospital, and lived in Camden until I was I guess, about 5 years old. Then we moved to Cherry Hill, where I went to grammar school and played Little League baseball for Cherry Hill National Little League, which was my probably the greatest thing I ever did. Still in my life was be part of that Little League and the baseball. I just love that whole. I think about it all the time. And then when I was about to become a freshman in high school, I moved to Florida, to Boca Raton, Florida, and went to Spanish River High School. And then after I graduated high school, I moved back to South Jersey and went to Camden County College for a couple years. And then I went to Temple University, and then I moved out to Atlanta for a few months around the '96 Olympics, and then I moved to San Francisco briefly, and then I moved to Los Angeles in 1997, and I've been out here in Los Angeles ever since. I came out here for film and television and stuff, and and I've been out here, got involved in music, early 2000, and started pursuing the music stuff. But that's, I mean, you asked me for my childhood. That's pretty much a synopsis, a snapshot of my life to date.
Yeah, and I mean, you've had a very successful career working with legend, some very big name stars.
I mean, I always wanted to be. I guess I always wanted to be involved in music. I didn't realize how much. I didn't study music when I was growing up. I didn't perform really. Maybe I was 1 year. I did band and grammar school, but I really got involved in the big band, Great American Songbook, um, hits of Broadway, hits of the 50s and 60s. I don't know why, but I worked at a jazz club briefly. I was a singing waiter out here in Los Angeles, and I really started to just learn all about that type of music. And that led me to meet people, because a lot of the older acts, the older stars, and even some of the younger stars, they always put out this type of music, and I got kind of good at producing the music and putting out a sound. And I met like Bobby Rydell. I got to work with him, and Joe Piscopo, and I got to do something with George Benson a few years back, and Jane Monheit and Renee Olstead, and then a lot of people from America's Got Talent and American Idol. Haley Reinhart, who is Postmodern Jukebox, an incredible, gold selling artist, and she's going to win a Grammy, I'm sure, one day. But um, and then recently Sal, the Voice Valentinetti, and Landau Murphy Jr., and all these people have become kind of part of my, I want to say, my repertoire. When I perform, I guess I become more of a producer and a host than I used to just sing the whole show. Now I've become more of like a, I guess, behind the scenes type of person that does a little bit of everything.
And that's just it. Like you're singing, you're acting, you're doing the whole thing. And then thank thankfully you have friends to help you, such as Landau, Haley, of course, different people that I've come to know following you and being a part of, as I like to say, my extended, like friendly with over these past 3-4 years, and I and I've enjoyed seeing the different people you've brought on, the techniques, the venues, of course, because I've seen you all, that feels like all over Atlantic City and South Jersey. So
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a hustle, man. It's a hustle. This is like a type of business that a lot of people say they want to get involved in the music business because they think it's glamorous, but they don't really see the real hustle and hard work it takes to book a venue and get a good band together and put a good show together and sell tickets. Can't forget, that's the most important thing. You got to sell tickets. Um, you got to make sure that the venue makes its money back and stuff. And so, it's sometimes some gigs are better, some things work out better than others, but um, it's an incredible road. I look back at, all I wanted to do once I started this was perform and do these shows. And I look back at it and I can't even believe the cool things and the cool things I've gotten to do. And I wasn't thinking about it at the time. I was just hustling. But now, like with all the COVID and being inside, and you kind of have some time to reflect and just see how fortunate, I've been to work with those type of quality people. Maya Sykes, of course, and all these people, these quality who become friends, and it's all done for the right reason, man. I never got involved in music for like financial or anything. I got involved with it because it was a feeling. And I'm not sure where we're going with this whole podcast thing. I know it's a journey, Jacob's journey or South Jersey journey, but for young people that are out there that are looking for a career or looking to do something, I believe that you follow your heart and what you really want to do, and then everything else will snap into place. Don't try and do it the other way around. Try and make things happen, and then things should snap in.
Yeah, and I mean, and like I've said in a couple episodes to younger people that are watching this, I know I said it in my first take. Things such as being in the music business, being a teacher, being involved in education, or whatever field you desire. It's not just as you said, Dave, and other guests have said, it doesn't come at the snap of a finger. You have to work at it. You have to go to college. You have to do what you have to do to make things work.
And also follow like what your natural, heart is telling you. I remember when we first met, I was telling you that I had done a show with Gloria Loring, and you said, Gloria Loring, I love her. And I was like, how the hell would this kid know who Gloria Loring is?
I
And
remember that. You came to have lunch with me one day. I
yeah,
remember that. I was working and
I mean,
eventually,
I barely knew who she was. And then and then when I met her and I got to know her, I said, oh, of course, she had a number one song, and even more importantly, well, not more importantly, but she's Robin Thicke's mother. And did you know that Gloria Loring is Robin Thicke's mother?
no, I didn't know that. It's
Yeah,
Robin Thicke. While we're on the subject of the Thicks, Alan Thicke from Growing Pains. Any relation in that family?
yeah. She was married to Alan Thicke, and Gloria Loring were married, and Robin Thicke's their son.
Oh, right. Sorry, I had a little.
But like, the fact that you knew who she was, and that you knew, and this famous singer that who's kind of like done all these amazing covers and also original songs, and an incredible performer. I got this opportunity to work with her and meet her and hang out with her briefly, and I was touched by her, and I was touched by some of the things that she said, and the fact that you knew who she was and that you were so involved in this music, that you knew all about Frank Sinatra, and you knew all about, you know, just I don't want to say that it's like fringe, like they're not. These aren't like Gloria Loring isn't someone that like someone your age would know about. That's why I was kind of taken back. I says, wow, this guy's an old soul. He really gets it. And you seem to surprise me on more than one occasion. You're talking about Barry Manilow, or you're talking about just different performers that you've been inspired by that are, you know, not even my generation, my parents' generation. So it's interesting. It's and I've always had since that I've always had this kind of you know uh, tendency to want to talk to you and get to know you better, because it's interesting to me that because I want to speak freely. I've always felt, I know that you have a physical handicap, but I also feel like mentally you have an incredible, like you are able to just think and do, and have an incredible mind. And I didn't really realize that. Sometimes I know that some people don't realize that, but like, you might look past someone just because of maybe like a physical handicap. You might not realize what's really inside their mind, or what makes up their whole personality, unless you have the opportunity to really speak with them and get to know them like I have with you. And I'm not trying to say that I would look at someone with a handicap and for that reason not get to know them, but I've never had a relationship with somebody that I became friends with like you, and really understood the whole, I guess, understand it, how hard and difficult it must be to, and your mind is there. You're like, there's nothing, your mind is completely like anyone. It's just a physical thing that you're dealing with, but you're even dealing with that. So I don't know if that means anything to you, but I was very like kind of like shocked by the fact that you had this incredible knowledge about, you know, you can look at someone, because just to summarize it, you can look at someone and say, oh, wow. And you can look past maybe a possible incredible thing that they have just because you don't really get to know them.
And uh, I mean, I remember. Some of you may know. I about. I guess it was a year before I met you. I'd been involved in radio all my life, I was at a station. They weren't giving me enough work, and sure enough, and you've heard this story. Uh, that WIBG brought me along, and let me tell you, the first night I was in there playing music, they were shocked at how much I knew, and I said, guys, I might be 30, 40 years younger than all of you, but I do know my music. Like they had me programming a show in the summertime, which was uh, which was harder because a little it's it's my taste in music, but it was club music, and I'm not up on all the 80s and 80s like rap, and I'm like, what are you having me do? And they said, oh, it'll be fine. I'm like, oh, I'm sure it will be, but I don't know anything. I said I'm like naming one song, and they're going, but you know what? I'm blessed to work with people like you. I'm blessed to work with people like Ken Schaefer. You know, it's all in good, as I like to say, it's all in good fun.
Yeah, it is all in good fun, and it's funny because you think someone your age would know all about these rap and these dance tunes, and you are like me. You know the music that I like, and you like the music that I like. So it's kind of funny. I'm like, where did you come from? It's like you should have been born in the '70s or the '60s or something.
And, and just to touch on the handicap thing a little bit, it doesn't happen much anymore. But when I was young, but when I was older than what I am, for those of you that don't know me, a lot of you do. I'm 21 years old, but a lot of them, say if I were in ShopRite or whatever, thought that I was younger than I looked.
Right, right.
But but look past all that. Look at where I've come from. I I went to I took hospitality classes in high school and have a degree from the courses from what I took. Like I know my stuff. I knew what I was gunning for. I tried not, excuse me, not to shy away from too much. And my parents said, look, he's just like any other human being. Let him go out there, let him do what he has to do.
No, it's great, and I love what you do too with the Field of Dreams stuff. And I haven't been to the field yet. I keep saying I'm going to go, but I was going to come the last time, and then, but I mean, I watch the pictures and I go online and I see all that stuff, and I know we were supposed to do a little thing for you. I was going to try and come out for it, but it all got canceled because of the COVID, and
But
I just.
we are working to reschedule that after this
And look, it's gonna go back to normal. At some point, it's gonna go back to normal. It's tough right now because it's tough on everybody. But at some point, they're gonna get the vaccine. They're gonna round the corner with this stuff. Um, you
and
know,
COVID will be a memory.
in 6 or 8 months or a year, things should get back to normal. And then when they do, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal in the big picture when you think about it.
And
You know.
that's just it. It's not that big of a deal. People think that the world would come to a crashing end, and it's not. We're surviving. Hey, we don't like the circumstances. Hey, I'm not back to work yet, but at least I'm alive. We're alive. I can see you through a screen. Like, come on, people are dramatizing over this virus. I know it's serious,
Well, I
but
mean, the thing that bothers me about it, and not to get political here, but they say if you wanted to, and I made a comment earlier today on Facebook on one of my friends. My friends, I have a lot of friends from New Jersey that I grew up with. That I don't want to say I'm embarrassed to say they're my friends, but some of the stuff that they're posting about, you know, just about that, first off, they're what they're saying about the new president and just the things that the way they're going about it is ridiculous. And they're also saying about, oh, who's anyone to tell me to wear a mask and this and that. If we weren't wearing masks and we were just out there getting sick, it would take 70% of the American public to get sick before we would achieve any sort of herd immunity. That would be 70% of 350 million people, which means that you'd have 4.5 million people to 5 million people dying. Like, we're saving 4 to 5 million lives by just wearing masks and just laying low for a few more months. Just chill out. Just chill out. What's the big deal? Where do you got to go? What do you got to go? Where are you going to go? You can't go to the movie. You want to go to the movie theater that bad? You want to kill people? You want to go to a baseball game that bad? You want to kill people? You want to go to a show that bad? Who cares? Stay the hell home for another 6 months and let's get through this.
Yeah.
We're almost through it. So just chill out, everybody. And I hope people get that. I hope people get that message because, it is selfish. It's selfish for people to act the way that they are, and it really upsets me.
Yeah, me too. People think, oh, I will go, I'm serious. I will move on to the next subject after this comment. But I had a cousin post on Facebook, oh, I had COVID. I have antibodies. I don't need to wear a mask. Hello? Protect me, protect you, protect all of us.
Right.
Anyway, we got that rant over. My next subject is a much lighter one. Atlantic City. I know you've been involved in politics and stuff like that, but how did you get involved in Atlantic City?
Well, I always wanted to perform in Atlantic City, so I started probably my first performance there was probably 2015, and then just built off of that. Got into a couple of the casinos. Then I met Mike Lopez at the time, who introduced me to Mayor Don Guardian, and it was around 2016. I said, we're going to write a song about Atlantic City. I approached Don. I played it for him. He loved it. And then those guys, they decided to make it the official anthem of Atlantic City. And then I came out that November, and I was helping Don with his campaign. Unfortunately, he lost to Frank Gilliam, which was a pretty hard blow to the city because Don was really doing a lot of things to help turn the city around. And I got involved in politics, hanging with Mike Lopez, hanging with Don Guardian, meeting some of these people, doing some of the radio shows, Scott Cronick, Whitney Ullman, Stephanie Kleiman from Dante Hall in Stockton. All these people kind of filled me in. And then I just knew that at some point that I was going to be involved in the city, that I bought a house. I'm going to be living there in Atlantic City soon. I have to wait until my daughter graduates high school because I'm not going to leave her until she's in college. But at some point, I do plan to return to Atlantic City and reside there. And even if it's part-time, but for most of the year. And I would like to get involved in the politics of Atlantic City because I feel like it's an extraordinary place. And I don't know, I just really do. I really do.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not so much for, say, political aspects, but I like the getting to know you. I like the dinners with Don and Mike. Like that's enjoyable when you can lay low and just talk to people, like the three of you, like that dinner at the ocean, and you can just ask questions. And I remember I even asked you a couple of questions when we went out to lunch because I want to learn about the history of the city and whatever else, what you're thinking, what I'm thinking. Can we ever collaborate on a project or two down the road? We'll see.
Yeah, I think Atlantic City is one of those places that, I know it's been a controversial place. I mean, I watched the Boardwalk Empire. I read the book, The Last Good Time, about the 500 Club. I became really close friends with Paula Jane D'Amato, whose father was Skinny D'Amato, and he ran the 500 Club, where Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. and Jerry Lewis actually met. They met at that club. Nat King Cole, everybody played it. It was the first place really anywhere where they had casino-like entertainment before the casinos were even legal. And Atlantic City always had one of those, like, really cool, like, it was the number one tourist destination till about 1960 in the United States, because of all the different railways and all the different bus and public transportation. And then when airline travel became real popular, Atlantic City lost its pizzazz because people started going to other places. They started flying to Miami. They started going to California. But when now that you see that maybe people are going to be afraid to travel for a few years, you're going to see a boom in Atlantic City. You're going to see a lot of people that are going to travel there, and get the right infrastructure going and a couple of things. The city's so small; it's not that much to fix up. And you have the ocean, you have these casinos, you have this rich history, you have Boardwalk Hall. There's so much cool stuff in Atlantic City. I mean, the greatest Frank Sinatra. I saw his last show ever that he ever performed in America. I saw it in Atlantic City in November of 1995 at the Sands, and there is just an incredible. I think it's better than Vegas. There's no beach in Vegas. The whole thing's a beach without an ocean. It's just a desert. I mean, Atlantic City has some sort of really cool thing, and it's only a matter of time before it goes through another. It goes through stages. There's a really hot period in the 80s when Trump had the Taj Mahal, and they had the Plaza and Mike Tyson fights and stuff, and that was the place to be, was Atlantic City. Then it dips off for a little bit, then it comes back, and then it dips off, and there's been a history of this for over 100 years. So I feel like you know it's only a matter of time before. I mean, it's waterfront property, so I mean, it is what I mean. It's great, you know.
Right. And while we're on the topic of Atlantic City, and uh, Miss America. Now I know before it even comes out of my mouth, I know COVID had to cancel it, but Miss America will turn, or uh, maybe you can help me with this because you know better than me. Miss America has turned or will turn 100.
Yeah, I mean, 2020 was supposed to be 100. I think that they put it off, so they're probably going to celebrate the 100th centennial next year. Um, but Jade, I hosted last year, as you know, Miss New Jersey, which was an honor to be the host, and I got to do that at Resorts Casino and perform 3-4 nights in a row. It was awesome. And Jade Glab won, and Alyssa Sullivan, our friend, was a runner-up, and she is in line to compete for Miss New Jersey and potentially Miss America for 2020, 2021, wherever it winds up being. And I feel like that's going to be a great, great thing. They got to wait till this COVID thing's over, though, so they can really celebrate that right. If it
Right.
takes a year, they got to just wait to get it right.
Right, you got to do it right. And
Yeah.
I think I've told you this, and you feel the same way. I'm sure you feel the same way as I do. Alyssa is she's so down to earth, so sweet. I mean, I told her, I said, I'm pulling for you, and I, she's she's like you. She's very community oriented, wants to help, very giving. She does stuff for Miss New Jersey, as we mentioned. She's very involved in the community. And I mean, it would be nice to see one of our friends win the whole thing.
Well, it'd be great. It'd be great. I mean, she was really last year probably would have won. She had a really they asked her a tough question, and she answered, but she answered honestly. She goes, I don't know the answer to that, and Might have cost her. I mean, she was really close from what I understand. She was in second place, and but I think it's in a way it was meant to be because Jade was a great person. She won. We got to meet Jade, and then I got to spend almost 6 or 8 months performing with Alyssa, doing a bunch of different shows, and I've been calling her every time I came out, and I really think she's a great talent and a really a sweetheart, and I mean she's another old soul that I think is just an amazing person. Like you said it, she really is a community, just good person.
And and Dave, that's just it. I met Alyssa before you did. She come to the Field of Dreams. I was sitting there. I didn't even think to introduce myself. I said I'll let this girl run and do her thing, and sure enough, I, you you invited me, and I think what was it? Not not last July, the July before, and all of a sudden she'd she'd seen me, or someone had put, it might have been you who put me in contact with her and said, uh, and then she got in contact with me, and then she goes, "Oh, I knew you." I said, "Yeah," and she goes, "Oh yeah, from the Field of Dreams," and sure enough, it connected and clicked. So it's just funny how relationships start.
Well, yeah, and you'll notice too as you get older, that these relationships that you have with people, there aren't that many people that like everybody knows each other through somebody through somehow, and like these people that oh yeah, I met him, I met her, blah blah. You're gonna notice that you're gonna meet most people that you know through like a couple, 4 or 5 handful of people that are really connectors in your life. People that are really and I'm one of those people. I mean, I'm gonna toot my own horn. I'm one of those people that I'm a connector. I know I meet people, I connect other people, I mean, I do that. That's just my natural gift. If I have any gift, it's that I know how to connect people and put things together. So I'm not unaware of that something that's what I'm capable of. I didn't think of it like that, but as you continue through your life, because you're one of those people. Oh, I know Jacob. Oh yeah, Jacob, this and that, blah blah. Next thing you know, you're having dinner with this people, and Jacob's there at the dinner, and just how things is.
And not to jump off topic, but you said that dinner. Oh, that dinner was a lot of fun. I still have such great memories from that dinner with Bruce and you and everybody. That was just list of my favorite nights in my career. That's top five.
Yeah, that was a great night with Joe Piscopo and Haley and Landau and Bruce Dyfick, the owner of here it is right here. He was the owner of Ocean Resort. You can see
Ocean
my
Resort.
my little sweatshirt, but yeah, that was a special thing. It was a special. It's sad to see him go so soon in life.
Yeah,
That was a real blow to all of us. I know he was working so hard to get that casino going, and he didn't see it really become what now it's really smoking. Now they're doing great, but better and better, even through the COVID thing. But just bad timing, bad luck, and it's really really sad story.
I remember the day he died, or getting the news that he had died. I was at work, and I'm upstairs, and someone, it wasn't but someone sent me a text with an article from the Press of Atlantic City. Bruce has died. I'm like, what? That's not true. That's not true. And then
Yeah.
I come home, I see you had something on Facebook. A couple people reached out to me almost immediately, and you were one of them. A couple of you reached out because you knew how close I was, and not only that, but how much of a shock it was. I I didn't expect Bruce. I mean, none of us did, to go as quickly. I
I mean,
mean,
I didn't expect him to go at all. He was a young guy. I mean, it was just crazy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's shocking when something like that happens to somebody who's young. You know.
I know you've worked with a lot of celebrities in your career. A favorite celebrity?
Um. Well, I mean, they were all. It's all cool. They're all great. I mean, it was cool to work with Bobby Rydell, even though that was kind of because he was like a Philly local legend and stuff. And God, he still sings great. But and that was a really cool thing to do a duet and record with him. But Joe Piscopo, I grew up listening to, um, watching Saturday Night Live. I remember watching him play Frank Sinatra. I even said to him, maybe I like Frank Sinatra because I saw you playing him on Saturday Night Live when I was like 10 years old. Like maybe it was like, maybe that's why, maybe that's why this stuff, it resonates somehow. You don't know. Maybe that was one of the seeds that were planted. But Joe has been such a great friend. And Landau, of course, and Sal, and Haley. I mean, Haley. I mean, yeah, they're all great. George Benson was very cool to do a show with him, even though I really didn't get to hang out with him too much. But you know, it's funny. I don't really look at them as celebrities. I look at them as just people. You meet them and you get to hang out with them and go on the road with them for a night or two and do a couple things, and then you either hit it off or you don't. So if you hit it off, you keep working with them, and if you don't, you don't. And Joe's one of those guys. We talk a lot. Joe Piscopo. We get on the phone, and every couple month or a couple weeks we update each other, and we're excited on doing some shows together and working together because he's just so funny, and he's so talented and such a great performer. And you know that he's a special guy, and he's a special guy. He really is.
Yeah, and I mean, Joe, Joe I wasn't even in Ocean 15, wasn't even 15 minutes in the restaurant at dinner, and we were already hitting it off, becoming friends. And he said to me the night after that show, that Friday night, he said, I think I want this kid on my show. I said, Joe, you got it. Let me know when you want me. If you're listening, I'm open, I'm available. I would be happy to do anything, for any of our friends that are entertainers. They know how to reach me.
Yeah.
So, I know you've done, we talked about it in the last question, but collaborations.
Um, well, right now I'm working on an album. I think I mentioned this to you, with Sal the Voice Valentinetti. A new album that'll be coming out on Valentine's Day, and I'm working on a Christmas track with Haley Reinhart that'll come out in a couple weeks. Landau and I have a Christmas track coming out together in a couple weeks that we've been planning for about a year. And just I have some new music that's gonna start. I'm gonna start letting out of my own early part of 2021. So it's just been like trying to time this COVID thing and trying to keep yourself busy. And so I've been doing a lot of the producing and stuff. So yeah, there's some of those projects, and then uh, it's been really a great pleasure to work with the Sinatra family and the Nat King Cole estate and Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee's 100 years old this year, so I did some stuff for Peggy Lee, and that's been a really great experience to learn about her and what a great performer she was.
Yeah, I mean, I did some research on her after, we all know she gives me fever in
Yeah.
the morning. I won't go into it because I mean fever, black coffee, just to name a few.
Black Coffee is they're going to re-release that Black Coffee album in December. and I'm doing a podcast with Universal Music Group with some special guest artists on it that you'll know, where I'm hosting a discussion on the Black Coffee album. So that's kind of exciting.
Oh, cool. I'll have to listen to that when it comes out. Uh, your daughter Mia and Rachel.
Yes.
That's my next topic.
What do you want to know?
Just, just like, what's Mia up to? I know you posted something on social media. She was singing.
Mia's a freshman in high school. She's been doing online learning out here in California. There's really no kids aren't in school yet where we live. They should just online, and they've been doing virtual choir where she goes to high school, John Burroughs High School in Burbank. It's like that's where Ron Howard went to high school, and a lot of it's kind of like Glee, really, when you think about the vocal ensemble they have there, the choir. So they did her choir show. She's been studying guitar. She's she's doing pretty good. She's all things considered. She's having a little bit of a tough time being inside all the day, all the time. But we do what we can. And then Rachel is doing great. She's been working on music. She started writing some songs, and I've been trying to help her as much as I can. And we've been living pretty happily out here, and enjoying our life together, enjoying the downtime together in the backyard. We put a pool up for the summer and got a little fire pit and grilling marshmallows, and just trying to keep things as normal as possible. Spend quality time with your family right now if you can't work and do the other things you really want to do. Just don't try not to get too bent out of shape about it, and I'm trying to enjoy the people I love.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, next week for Thanksgiving, hard to believe it's fast approaching. I'm seeing my dad's side of the family for the first time since all of us together in person outside since pre-pandemic, so that'll be nice. And then I think I'm helping the radio station with an event outside the day before Thanksgiving. I said, hey, it's outside. I hope they got him pretty safe. So I said, hey, I'll give it a shot.
Right.
Something normal.
Yeah, I mean, just be careful. Be outside is safe, and don't borrow your grandma's fork. Just be cautious.
Don't, as I like to say, don't do stupid stuff.
Double dip the dip. Come on.
Don't do goofy stuff.
Yeah, don't do goofy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, as we said in the beginning, things will get back to normal. I mean, I will see you in person. Hopefully, 2021 down. Hopefully, if
I'm
all.
planning on at least by 2021, man. I mean, come on. I think 6 or 8 months we're going to be out of this now with this vaccine. I think hopefully by the summertime, things will be roaring. I mean, and just imagine what that's going to be like. It's going to be like Mardi Gras for about a year.
Oh, when the saints go marching in. I'm kidding, but I know what you mean. Like, I hope businesses will be back open, restaurants will be open.
People are going to be goofy. They're going to be going nuts.
Oh God! Is this what it's like to be goofy? Oh, I can't wait. But you know what? As we said, we gotta stay safe. I mean, you're safe in LA. I'm safe here in Jersey. It's cold as all get out here today.
Wow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Dave, for being my guest today. I'm Jacob Hackett saying goodbye for now.
Thanks for having me, Jacob. I love you, buddy. Stay safe.
Love you too. Stay safe. Now.